Hello, welcome. This is the first episode of the Right Hype podcast, and I'm so excited to be going on this journey and that you are here to join me. My name is Gavon. If you don't know me, you are going to get to know me. I am a sustainable fashion and style expert, and this podcast is a culmination of all my passions and interests. The Right Hype podcast is where we talk about hype done right. Hype culture is everywhere. It's all around us. It's in social media. It's in the ads we see. And it's in the trends that we follow. And the industry is moving real fast. So I'm here to help you navigate it the right way. So this podcast is really special to me. I've been in this industry for a long time and thinking about ways that I can make a meaningful contribution. For me, it's been a labor of love to think about each episode, think about how I want to sequence everything, think about the space that I wanted to take this. And it's kind of crazy because this almost didn't happen. The first reservation I made got canceled, so I was nervous that I wasn't going to be able to shoot this in time, but we moved forward and we found an amazing space with an amazing team. How did all of this start? Well, it started in 6th grade when I won Mr. GQ in middle school. For those who don't know what GQ is, it is a men's fashion magazine about style, culture, and fashion. And ever since I was young, it felt good to be recognized for my sense of style at a very young age. You know, I have had amazing examples growing up. My mom and my dad were very involved in fashion in their own way, and I learned a lot from them. To this day, my mom, she still sends me pictures of her outfits because she wants me to tell her how cool she looks. But all those years of us going shopping together and her asking for my opinion really helped carve out my sense of style, and it showed me what I liked and what I didn't like. So much of that really informed my eye on fashion. But then there's also my dad, who worked at Burlington Coat Factory, which is a department store that's still very popular in some places. His closet was like the ultimate closet to shop from. He had designer brands from Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein. I could go on. And as a child, I was just so curious. When my dad left for work, I would go into his closet and steal his shirts that were 2 sizes too big for me, and I would always put on his cologne before heading off to school because, you know, I understood the value in carrying myself really well, and I've taken that throughout my entire life. Little did I know my family was helping me get into my fashion bag, and here we are today with this podcast. In 2016, I started a fashion blog, and I wrote mainly about menswear and fashion culture. Picture me running around Atlanta with a camera in my backseat and a bunch of clothes in my trunk looking for dope locations to shoot. And it was just a mixture of fit pics, product reviews, culture, cataloging, and just interviewing different experts. At the time, I was still trying to figure out whether I wanted to be in front of the camera or behind the camera, and I really found it important to create a community around me as I was kind of dabbling into creative direction and styling and fashion direction. I can't stress enough how integral it has been to have a community around me as a creative to just keep me motivated, to keep my skills sharp, and to help me grow as a creative myself. So shout out to all my friends who let me experiment and try different things. Once I had a portfolio, I decided to move from Atlanta to New York with very little money, but I was determined to make it no matter what. And I was couch surfing for a little bit. I had to kind of find my footing when I initially came here. And it wasn't like it was all, you know, roses and daisies at the beginning. I had to kind of pay my dues and move through the industry slower. I can remember lying down at night watching The Devil Wears Prada on repeat, reciting the iconic Meryl Streep. Don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this. Everyone wants to be us. The crazy part is, I felt like I was Andrea in that moment, really hustling and working just for, these big wigs in fashion. And I finally got my big break when I worked at Victoria's Secret as an intern for the fashion show. And I met an amazing stylist. Her name is Danielle Denton. She saw the potential in me and gave me the opportunity to really try out styling and do it and get paid. So I always thank her so much for getting me jobs. I got to work with Mariah Carey. I got to work on a Dior campaign. It was really fun, just like being in the space and learning a lot. Unfortunately, it was really tough for me to make a living, so I pivoted into becoming a marketer. And from there, I just worked with different brands, from fashion brands to beauty to lifestyle to food, retail, you name it. I was doing it, and I got a ton of experience that helped to teach me a lot about business and make me more of a well-rounded individual. The last job that I held was at a fashion startup, and long story short, the vibes were off. The company was not what I thought it was. And I was spending hours upon hours working on someone else's vision. And it just didn't feel right over time. You know, working for another founder made me realize how important my vision was to me. I had to leave there in order to start something on my own. So for many years, people would ask me, how do you put outfits together? Would you style me for this event? Or will you help me clean out my closet? And there was just always a lot of questions that people had around fashion. And so I decided to take the first step and create a podcast that's all around answering some of these questions. It is going to be a valuable resource for you to come here, listen to me talk about some of my favorite topics, and in turn you'll learn some strategies on how to develop a sense of style and just navigate hype culture. I'm also very, very passionate about sustainability, so we're going to talk about that as well and why it's very important, and it plays into you building your personal style. So with that introduction, let's get into the first episode. All right, to start, I want to define a few terms just so that we're all starting from the same place. So when I say certain words, you understand. When I talk about fashion, I mean fashion with a capital F. That's the clothes you wear, and people often underestimate the power of fashion. Why though? This typically happens when they've dug themselves in such a style rut, they just dismiss fashion as being something extra. Whether you're interested in it or not, you cannot deny that what you wear sends a loud message about who you are, well before you even open your mouth. You know that the way you look and carry yourself matters because it's the first thing that people see. Your fashion can make a good first impression and be the voice that speaks words without you having to open your mouth. Now, on the flip side of fashion, there's style, and there's a difference. Style is how you do things, and it's the expression of your identity within the world of fashion. Style is so much more than just nice things and designer trends and brand names. It's about wearing clothes that make you truly feel good, that make you feel confident, and drives you to perform at a higher level. It fosters the ability for you to feel empowered and comfortable in your skin. When you feel your best, not only do you command authority from others, but you trust yourself more. You take more risks. You assert yourself. You ask for what you want, and you push yourself to be better. It's one of the many tools that you have at your disposal so that you can show up in the world as your best self. How you perform at a higher level in your personal and professional life, you have to recognize the role that clothing plays in that equation. So if your personal style is how you move through life, consider your unique path crucial. Curating a unique image with your wardrobe can help you express yourself and embody the person that you want to be. Defining your personal style does take time though, and I want to emphasize that it should be a slow process. It's like manifestation, and there's a handful of ways to go about it. First, you have trial and error, which is self-explanatory. You're experimenting, you're trying different clothes, accessories, hairstyles, and just your overall aesthetic to discover how to express yourself the best way. During this process, you might find yourself looking at different genres in fashion, looking at colors, patterns, and fits to see what's comfortable for you. And the more that you are experimenting, you're actually learning about yourself and building a greater sense of self-awareness, confidence, and you'll get to that curated wardrobe that really reflects your unique identity. The second approach is analyzing someone else's style. That involves just observing and drawing inspiration from another person's fashion choices, how they groom themselves, and this is all what you're going to use to inform your own sense of style. You can really learn how someone else is putting together their outfits, the color that they choose, and their overall vibe that they project. Also, you can observe trends to stay updated, experiment with new styles, and see how others are choosing their fits that complements their body. While drawing inspiration from others can be valuable, remember to adapt and tailor these influences to your individual taste and preferences. The third way you can go about it is start by looking at your wardrobe. This will identify what you like and what you wish you could change about your current style. Go through your closet and see which pieces really work with your lifestyle, and then spot the areas that you want to improve. I love shoes, but an area that I'm still trying to figure out is pants, because I'm super tall and I have a lot of meat on my bones, and not a lot of brands cater to guys with that shape. So it's very important to think about these things as you're building a personal style. And not only do you want to think about curating a wardrobe, but you want to treat each item as a relationship, something that gives and also takes. Most of us own a lot of things that make us feel bad. When you hold a clothing item in your hands, it becomes clear that it makes you feel something. Joy, guilt, weariness, fear, very often mixed feelings, sometimes very strong. It's normal to have hundreds or thousands of possessions. Then we are at all times bearing the weight of hundreds of or thousands of these feelings. These essentially are relationships. Our clothes cost us time, energy, and money. We often look at the amount of work that goes into acquiring and maintaining our clothes. And the more we buy, the more work you have to do. Then it makes sense to carefully consider what you put in your closet. Buying clothes that feel like they're made for you is a luxury. There is significance and reward in only buying things that you truly love, that make you comfortable, protect your body, and give you confidence. It's also the first thing that people notice about you. Now, imagine an item of clothing and you love it. When you wear it, you feel unstoppable. You feel good. You walk differently. Your mood brightens. You're going to wear it often. Or you might even wear it on special occasions because it has that much value to you. That's pretty powerful. You should honor that relationship. It's healthy to appreciate the things that you love. Those are the things that speak to your personal style. Think about what you wear most often, why you wear it a lot. It could be based on where you live, where you work, your body type, your budget. There's a 50% chance you already have style preferences by looking at your clothes and your closet and just noticing a pattern. These will become your style references. References are what you look at when you're shopping, and they help you find pieces that complement your existing wardrobe. And see, that's how you start to curate your style. From your preferences to your references, your clothes are deeply personal, and you need to reconnect with the reality of clothing. Trust your instincts. No matter what the media tells you is cool, only you can decide what's right for you. I find it difficult personally to trust anyone else's opinions about my style who doesn't know me personally. I live in New York, so I see advertisements all the time. Advertisements telling me that I should buy this, I should buy that, in order to fill the void that I might be feeling deep inside. Then there's this idea of people who are just buying things because they have a shopping addiction or they're going through an identity crisis. They might even be trying to impress somebody else. Then you have the influencers. And I'm not really here to bash influencers. There are some that I follow because they have a unique sense of style. But again, it seems like a cool idea to just copy what everyone else is doing. But truthfully, it's all about how the clothes make you feel. When you put it on, you should feel happy at the end of the day, not that you're able to copy somebody else. It's best to see trends as a suggestion or an inspiration to achieve a goal that you've created for yourself before you go shopping. Buying an article of clothing just because it's trendy is rarely a good idea. I've been there. I've bought clothes that I thought that were cool or that they were cheap, and they ended up sitting in my closet for months, sometimes even years, and I've never even worn it, and eventually had to throw it away. Whenever I go out shopping, I try to think of all the ways that I could wear an outfit. Think about what I could pair with it, how I could style it. It's exhausting and expensive to constantly be shopping, and it's a dangerous path to go down if you're going to chase someone else's version of style. The real value is discerning whether you're going to follow a trend or your personal style, and the brands won't do that work for you. To shop efficiently, you have to put a plan in place. Otherwise, you're destined to just repeat the old habits of impulsive buying. This, my friends, is how you begin to repair your relationship with your clothes. Listening to your intuition is rewarding, I promise. Remember to find your style references and wear what makes you feel good. Your wardrobe should act as a natural extension of who you are. It's about your needs and what you want the world to see and say about you. It's also how long-lasting clothes are. Clothes that are destined to last are the best items to have because they carry your life story. You may need to get a repair or two, but it'll be worth it because working on that item, you are building more loyalty towards that garment. It's like a relationship. When you hit a rough patch, you have to work through it. Cherishing your clothes will have an outsized impact on your life, I promise. It'll teach you to love people and use things and not the other way around. There does come a time when you do naturally let go of certain items that you've had for a long time, and that's okay. Acknowledging when an item of clothing is not serving you anymore is a part of the process, and it shows you where you need to pay more attention. All right, in order to really define your personal style, you must control your habits. So remember, style is a tool that you can use to show up in the world as the best version of yourself. Fashion speaks without words. Trial and error allows you to learn more about yourself and develop confidence in your choices. While drawing inspiration from others can be valuable, remember to make sure that they're tailored to you. Make sure that you have preferences and references. And each item is a relationship. Trust your instincts, no matter who tells you what's cool. Only you can decide what's right for you. Care for your clothes, it's a part of creating lifelong journeys. Caring for your clothes is a part of creating lifelong memories. Removing clothes is an opportunity to hone in on your personal style and only let things into your closet that are good for you. Personal style holds the greatest reward because it allows you to invest in yourself. So if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, review it wherever you listen to your podcast, and sign up to the Right Hype newsletter so you never miss when a new episode drops. Now, if you're saying to yourself, Gavon, this was a really dope episode, but I'm gonna need that one-on-one time. I've got the perfect thing for you. Booking some time with me is so easy. Just head on over to gavonowen.com/righthype. You can find all the details in today's show notes. Thank you for listening. Peace out, fam.